Okay, the dish I will be making is a spaghetti with a garlic and herb meat sauce, and that will be my meat dish. And I forgot to video this part, but you put about a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of garlic in a pan, and I also sprinkled some fresh basil, and then you place in your meat and you let it brown. And then you get another pot for your pasta, and you turn on the burner to high until it starts boiling. And then once you stick the pasta in, you'll turn it down to like medium high. But first you can salt the water and then wait for it to boil. And you can always add more butter as you go because you can never have too much butter. And I just realized I forgot to say this at the beginning, but you can put your meat about a pound to a pound and a half of it. And your meat should be cooked to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And also you can use thawed out meat or frozen. My hamburger meat was frozen, and if it's frozen it just takes a little bit longer to cook. So since it's like frozen solid right now, what I do is every minute or two, once it's browned on the bottom, you flip it over. And then it looks like that, and then you just scrape the meat off the top and wait for it to brown on the other side, and then flip it over again and just keep doing that until it's all broken down. For frozen meat, if your meat isn't frozen, then you don't have to worry about this part. And I see that the water is now boiling, so while my meat is finishing browning, I'm now going to stick the pasta in. And you don't have to do this, but I like to break my noodles in half so that they go in the pot better. But you don't have to do this, that's just what I've chosen. You can also just stick them in whole and wait for them to go down. Set your timer to 8 or 9 minutes. And now that the meat is done browning, I'm gonna open this can of pasta sauce and pour it in. You can use canned pasta sauce or jarred pasta sauce. You can also make your own. I just chose to use this one. And normally you're supposed to strain the meat before you put the sauce in, but I forgot before I poured the sauce in, so we're just gonna go with it. Once you've poured your sauce in, you want to turn your temperature down to the second tick mark, or like medium low, and just let it simmer for a little bit while the pasta is finishing cooking. And you also want to frequently stir the noodles so that they don't stick together. So now the pasta is done, so I turned off the burner, and now I'm gonna strain the pasta. And since you're almost done with the pasta, you can go ahead and take your meat sauce off the burner. Got a good strain, you're gonna add your pasta back into the pot, and I'm gonna add a little bit more butter. I'm gonna also add a little bit of dried basil and dried oregano, and then I'm going to put just a little bit of fresh basil just to give it that nice fresh flavor. Now that your pasta mixture is done and stirred up, you're gonna pour all of the meat sauce into the pot, and a lot of people just do like they'll plate the spaghetti and then the sauce and keep it separate, but I prefer and find it easier if you just pour it all in one pot. And the ratio of pasta to sauce may not be exact because I didn't use an exact amount for the pasta. So you can just pour the sauce in and test it as you go until you get the amount of sauce you want. And if you have any sauce left over, you can just put it in a Tupperware container and save it for something else. Now your spaghetti is done and you just plate and serve.